Go and try your luck. Test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up. Then that be poking out them jeans. I've been sparking up. Like the fireworks, I keep the flame. Heard you barking up. This the wrong tree, I got the strings. Yeah, I'm charging up. They can't keep up, got them looking drained. Now they walking up. Trying to put the face to the name. Pull up.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of the GOW, the Generation Wrestling Podcast. As always, yours truly, the franchise, aka the showstopper, better known as the GOW's resident tribal chief. And with me, as always, you got my tag team partner, my brother, my family. Here's the flyest in the room, Mr. 1, 2, 3. Pin that ass down, K Breezy, aka EC's resident Isaac Hayes, King Tuco. Bro, what's good?
Man, what's good, man? What time's the game coming on?
I thought 3. Is it not?
Yeah.
All right, well, hold on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you got to forgive us for a second. The Cleveland Browns are playing tonight with a chance to clinch the playoff seed. So give us a second.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a minute. Hold on, we gotta get to this. We gotta get to this.
What channel do the Browns play on? Ain't that some shit? Hold on. Okay, so they come on Fox tonight.
It's on Fox.
It's a Fox game. Oh, they on cable, ladies and gentlemen.
Nah, Fox got the Lego Master coming on tonight. They ain't got it advertised. How you not gonna advertise the game? Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking Fox 8. It say, bro, it say the news, Big Bang Theory, Lego Masters for 2 hours.
Yeah, no, because I'm looking at it right here. It say, it say Fox, NFL Plus, and then Prime Video.
NFL, Prime Video. Oh, I'm in the wrong app. Let me get out of this app. I'm in Hulu.
Yeah.
Let me get over this app real quick.
I was about to say, don't you do that now? Don't you do
that? My bad.
You know what? When they say Fox, maybe they mean the Fox affiliate for that market. So you know how we get, like you know how we get like our games here be on like CBS, but it be our CBS.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on now. Hey, now you got me pulling up the Prime Video. There we go. Yeah, Cleveland Brown. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, you had me scared for a minute. I'm like, hold on now.
Yeah, man. Look, you see, we ain't even started the show yet, and I'm like, bro, wait, man, hold on, bro.
Oh yeah, it's right here, front and center. You got Myles Garrett and Breeze Hall on the cover. Jets versus Brownies. Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah. Included with Prime. Oh yeah, coming up. Leave that right there. Okay, no problem. All right, let me just leave that right there. Okay. What's up with the people, man? What's up with y'all, man? My bad. We had to get that together. We had to.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We definitely had to rectify that situation because I mean to not be able to witness tonight's game would just be egregious. It would be a error in judgment, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Especially being here in Cleveland. So right now, all right, we are getting ready to do our season finale of the over under. As you can see, the people in the background are the folks we are going to talk about. I don't know, man. This one could be spicy. This one may not be. I don't know, man. It's some differences going on. Lately we've been really feeling ourselves about certain people and certain things. So we're gonna see what it do, man.
Well, look, all right, man. So as you said, man, the people in the background are the people we are going to talk about. We got Kane, Don Callis, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn. Oh, yeah. And we got the baddest bitch, Jazz. All right, man. So who you want to go with first?
You know what, man? Who you want to put last?
You know what? I say if you want, we could put Kane last.
Kane last?
Yeah.
Let's do Jazz first. Ladies first.
All right, ladies first. All right, we got the OG, the baddest bitch, Jazz. Jazz, a former standout in not only WWE, but also ECW as well. Dude, bro, okay. Now, this is something different because this show, you and I have agreed on everybody on this list. So it's not going to be us with separate people. It's going to be us giving our separate points of view on the same people. But, with that being said, man, Jazz, powerhouse of women's wrestling, emerged in the late 90s, early 2000s. Dude, very no-nonsense attitude in the ring. Jazz, to me, bro, I'm just get right into it. I ain't even gonna bullshit you. To me,
Mhm.
Jazz was so different. One, she was one of the few black women in the business at the time. Really one of the few black people that was really getting a lot of exposure on the mainstream level at the time. Came in during ECW, killed it there as the baddest bitch, then made her way into WWE. But the thing is with WWE, with WWF at the time, was that Jazz didn't fit the mold. When I say she didn't fit the mold, one, I already said, black woman coming in. That's number one. But she was super jacked, super muscular,
Mhm.
super
Mhm.
strong. No, she was a powerhouse in an era where you had the pretty blonde bombshells,
Yeah.
uh, and you had your exceptions to the rule, but Jazz anything like the other women in that time. She didn't wrestle or lack thereof like any other women at that time. Jazz was really ahead of her time. We talk about the
I can tell
women.
you one thing: she wasn't joining the Vince McMahon kissing my ass club.
Not
I
at
tell you
all.
that.
Not at all. What you saw with her is really what you got. She called herself the baddest bitch and conducted herself as such. And she was somebody that was believable in the ring with a guy or a girl. Because when you seen Jazz walk down to the ring, she looked like she was going to whoop your ass. Jazz wasn't for all the shenanigans. She wasn't for all the bra and panties and all this, that, and the third. Nah, Jazz came out. She looked good doing it. But Jazz was still a bad bitch. And that's with all due respect. Bro, to me, I'm going to say, as a wrestling fan, as a fan of women's wrestling, as a fan of professional wrestling, I feel like Jazz maybe was a little bit before her time. And
Mhm.
for that, I feel like I'm not going to say underrated. I'm going to say she was definitely undervalued in WWE and underappreciated across the board. I do feel, however, Paul E. Dangerously, aka Paul Heyman, I feel like he did pretty well when he had Jazz. I feel like ECW really fit Jazz and her persona, but I feel like with WWE, I kind of feel like, man, she did some stuff and she won, but I don't know if she ever quite fit with the WWE/F was at that time, especially for women's wrestling. What do you think?
Well, no, because even though she kind of got she was there long enough to be a part when the women did take on wrestling a lot more seriously. So she was around for that, and she did have her moments and her victories, and she won at WrestleMania. She was the women's champion. She beat Trish, like so. She's had some great moments, but she was never really pushed as a dominant, female. She was always pushed as the heel for for someone else to win, to be the new popular it girl. It was more about sex appeal than it was about in ring, compared to what it is now. Even though you have the sex appeal, but it's more about the in ring with a lot of the women nowadays. So
Right.
we didn't have that. We didn't have that then. It was coming. So she was one of the few that actually knew how to go in the ring and wrestle. And depending on who she went in the ring with, depending on how great of a match she would have. Because if it was somebody she had to carry, then yeah, it might not have been as great. But if it was somebody that can hold their own, then you probably got something out of it. William, man, coming in talking about Titus looks good with long hair. Don't you be disrespectful to the queen. Earl, what's up, man? Hope you're feeling better today, man. Jazz was decent. I put her as underrated, underutilized, underappreciated. I definitely agree with you mostly on that. Um, I wouldn't say she was underutilized, but she was underrated. Most definitely, because she was one of the top. I don't even want to say she was underrated, because she wasn't overrated. I think she was perfect for what she was, because of like you said, her build and just how she had her approach and how she presented herself. Underappreciated, most definitely. I
Yeah.
agree with underutilized and underappreciated, most definitely with Earl. I seriously think Vince had not been worrying about screwing the talent and actually gave a damn, Jay wouldn't be the first. I mean, well, actually Bianca kind of beat her to it, but at the same time, I I like Jazz. I like I said, I've always been a fan of her. They did not, utilize her to the best, but at that time, again, it was women. The women were coming off more of a sex appeal thing than they were actually being considered serious. Remember, they were getting 5 3-minute, 2-minute, 1-minute, 5-minute matches. Only certain people were wrestling for 10, 15 minutes, and
Right.
and they weren't too many of those. So, I definitely wish she was in a more different era. She had a nice little. I think she went to TNA. She had a nice little run there, but she did a lot more independent stuff. I said Jay only because I'm reading the tea leaves on Beyond. Oh, okay, yeah. I get you. But yeah, I definitely wish Jay was not Jay. Definitely wish Jazz was on a in a different era of the women's and really could show what she could do.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So we both got her what underappreciated.
Definitely underappreciated and underutilized.
Okay, okay, I like that. I like that. All right, man. Ooh, you know what, man? Let's get somebody that's gonna spark a little intrigue and controversy, man. Let's talk about that man, the invisible hand, the backstabber, the Judas himself. I'm talking about none other than the used car salesman of professional wrestling, Don Callis. Bro, Don Callis, dude, he's been a wrestler, a commentator, behind the scenes figure. He was also on ECW, did a little color commentating. Dude, Callis played a crucial role in the resurgence of Impact Wrestling. And before he came over to AEW as the right hand to Kenny Omega, that's actually what he was doing last. He was a key figure in Impact Wrestling and that whole resurgence and rebuilding that rebrand. And then Scott D'Amore, he's really done a great job ever since Callis left to keep that going and to really improve. And again, now we got Impact going back to TNA. They're really trying to reestablish their identity. With that being said, we wanted to pick a manager, and it was kind of tough because there's only so many managers out of the many managers that you can really say were great or terrible. But I feel like there's a certain echelon when it comes to managers, much like top talent. There's people like Paul Heyman. There's people like Don Callis. There's those heat magnets, no matter what you want to say about a guy like a Jim Cornette. There's people like Jimmy, Mouth of the South Heart. It takes, I feel like they take the managerial duties and they go above and beyond standing there being a valet for their talent. Don Callis is one of those guys, man. Love him or hate him, I feel like he's that perfect villain. Look at what he's doing with Takeshita right now. Takeshita doesn't even have to speak. The amount of heat Don Callis gets as a person who doesn't work as a talent in a ring is ridiculous. Like, it is crazy how loud he gets booed just from the simple fact that he's him, who he is. Don Callis can speak on the mic very well. I feel like the talent he's put up underneath this wing has done pretty well for themselves. Powerhouse Hobbs, he's doing better by association. But I feel like anything that Don Callis has attached himself to has made it better in some way, shape, or form. To me, I will say Don Callis is perfectly placed where he's at. I don't feel like he's underrated. I don't feel like he's underutilized. And I don't feel like he's underappreciated. I think maybe where the underappreciated concept may come in is maybe the people's disdain for the character. But I think within the wrestling business, Don Callis has more than proven his worth. And I think especially in AEW being the second largest cable wrestling television, I think people are starting to see that. What are your thoughts?
When Don came in and with Kenny to help Kenny or try to be a manager for Kenny, and when Kenny got ready to make his turn and go on his run, I hated Don Callis because it took a minute to grow on me, for me to really kind of understand what his style was as a manager, like who he is, how he presents himself, what he does. And pretty typical manager. He does all the typical heel manager stuff. Talks, brags loud about his client, and does every little antic to try to help them win, no matter if he gets busted upside his head or whatever.
Right.
But Don has a way of presenting himself. Now, for me, at one point, I feel like he got booed because people just didn't care for him. But then the more they started doing, the more he started talking, the more them boos became genuine, just heel manager boos. I do think Don is overrated a little bit. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I think there is some overrated about him, but you can tell that he does know something of what he's doing. Now, I do need him to have more success with Takeshita and Hobbs and Kyle Fletcher. Like, I need them to do more. I need them to figure out something because if they do nothing, then he's just been a waste. So,
Yeah.
and even though I like the group, because of Kenny's injury, they had to make an audible with Sammy. We'll talk about that more in the prediction show later. But understanding the reason why they might have had to make some changes, but at the same time, they had some success, but then it's like after that, you really just didn't see much from them after a while.
Yeah. No, I got you. And you know what? I will agree. When you said overrated, I was kind of like, what are you talking about? But when you break it down the way you did, I can understand that, because when the way I also would measure a great manager, a manager is meant to make his or her client shine. You're supposed to cover the weaknesses of your client, and you're supposed to exude their strengths. And I feel like, when you named Fletcher, when you named Takeshita, when you named Hobbs, I don't really feel like Callis has made them feel or seem any bigger or better than what they are. Like with Kenny Omega was already great. So it was easy for Don Callis to go out there and be a great heel manager with Kenny Omega, because Kenny was already great. There was, with or without Don, he was already, you was already behind them. You either liked him or hated him. Don Callis just kind of helped add the fuel to the fire with the Young Bucks. Again, Young Bucks are very good. People are already felt how they felt about the Young Bucks already. So Callis added fuel to the fire. With Takeshita, his only downside was he doesn't speak great English, but he was already a great wrestler. But it's like, okay, yeah, Don Callis can talk for Takeshita, but that hasn't necessarily translated into victories or storyline or things that I really care about outside of the fact that Don Callis is the leader of the group. So I will say in that aspect, I do agree. Okay, I would say he's underrated, but I also feel like he's underappreciated.
I think, if they have more success, then yeah. Like, if he can have more success outside of Kenny Omega and build these other guys up to really win and do something, then yeah. But until then,
I say underappreciated. I didn't mean to say appreciated. I'm tripping.
You say what?
I just realized I said underappreciated. I was talking, kind of got into a rant, and I said underappreciated. I meant to say overrated. I didn't mean to say the underappreciated part.
He said, other guy, Adam. Roddy Strong. Well, Roddy ain't a manager. He a wrestler. But yeah, no. I need them to win something more.
Okay.
And then once they do that, then we can have a conversation again another day.
All right, bro, man. We winding down. We getting into the semifinals right now. Now, this one I'm very, very interested in talking about, because they've been a part of so many groups, so many teams, so many factions. They've done solos, trios, 6, 7, 8, one-on-ones. So everything you can do, man. They've been in any iteration of a superstar there is to be in professional wrestling. I'm talking about, oh, you didn't know? Yo ass better ask somebody. We got the Road Dogg, Jesse James. We got the badass Billy Gunn. We got the new Age Outlaws. Bro, I went first on the first two. I got to let you go first on the last two. Break it down.
I like the way he said that. Dun, dun, dun. Break it down. The New Age Outlaws were, how can I say this?
I think Earl feel the way we feel.
Yeah, their characters when they first started out were trash. It wasn't until they really got with DX that they really become something different. They were more about antics than they really were about a lot of wrestling matches. Unfortunately, back then in that Attitude Era, one of their matches I can recall was the dumpster match they had with Terry Funk and and Mankind. I'm about to say Al Snow and Mankind, not Al Snow. And they've been involved in quite a few other things. They've won the titles, they've held them, and again, their characters are over the top. You everything about you didn't know, like that's one of the greatest, like flat out, that's one of the greatest catchphrases coming down. Like every time it comes on, everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. But it's just a catchphrase of the DX thing, and that's cool and that's fine. As a tag team, though, would I put them as one of the greatest tag teams? I couldn't do that. I can't even put them above Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, or the Hardy Boys. I don't even put them above them. Hell, I don't even put them above. Hell, they're not above the Hart Foundation. They're not above the Road Warriors. Like they're not above a lot of guys. And even though they've had success, they were part of one of the most popular groups ever. They were overrated. I as a tag team, they were overrated. Individual characters at moments, they were perfectly where they were at, but as a tag team, man, they were overrated.
No, I do. I agree 100%. When you and I, when we were coming up with a tag team, and it's funny because, when you announce, okay, hey, Billy Gunn, Jesse James, Road Dogg, I'm like, we didn't even have to say what we thought. We just automatically knew, like, yeah, all right, we're going to agree on that one. And absolutely. Like you said, but they okay. When you look at the history of tag teams, overrated as fuck. If you're looking at it from a wrestling tag team standpoint, when you look at what they were doing in the 90s and the 2000s and where wrestling was transitioning from, it made a lot of sense because you were getting away from, again, the Hulk Hogan's, you're getting away from the Macho Man, ooh, yeah, and you wanted to make wrestling cool. So what were they doing? They were being degenerates. They were out here being the outlaws. They were being the badasses. They were the cool guys. They were the teenagers out there, man, 17, 18 years old in the school hallway smoking cigarettes, looking cool. All the little freshmen and sophomore nerds walk by wishing they could be like them. They were the greasers, of the generation. And so as
not the greasers.
so gimmick wise, they definitely put the entertainment and World Wrestling Entertainment, even though it wasn't WWE then, but you get the point. They fit the goofiness of professional wrestling. But like you said, I feel like maybe more as singles guys, you could take them a little more seriously. But as a group, we already know what they were there for. They were part of a bigger machine. They were a spoke on the wheel of a bigger vessel, and they served their purpose. Right. I don't think anybody looked at Road Dogg or Billy Gunn as world heavyweight champions. They were what they were. You bring on X-Pac ass, his ass is in there too. Throw his ass in there. So we got China. That was a whole different thing. They just kept adding, but we knew what it was. But like you say, bro, definitely overrated. But I did think that they fit perfectly for that era in which they were in, if that makes sense.
Earl, who the hell is NAO? I mean, NAO. I can't even think of the name. I'm sitting here trying to figure out who the hell is he talking about.
I'm thinking, and maybe he would say NWO, maybe. Because I can't.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm not trying to figure out who the hell is NAO.
Because I'm thinking NOD, but that's Nation of Domination. That ain't it.
Yeah, it would be NOD.
National Asses of
You stupid. You stupid. You stupid.
New Age Outlaws. Oh, damn.
Duh. It ain't New Age Outlaws. Duh.
Wow.
Wow.
My
Okay.
bad, Earl. Hey, that's my fault.
Maybe this qualifies our no. Fuck that. It don't matter. Oh no. Okay, I got you, Earl. I got you. I see where they're slightly unappreciated also because the other that is true. And I did say that was true. I just couldn't figure out what team you were talking about. Now that makes more sense when you say it. Yeah, because there was only so many teams they fought. I mean, even though you had tag teams back then, but the APA was giving them business, so it wasn't like that, and whoever Kane was tag teaming with was giving them the business. So it's not like X-Pac, Mankind, whoever, shit is Terry Reynolds, whoever was partnering with Kane would give them some business. But yeah, I do think that they were more of a gimmick and entertainment than they were as far as in-ring, even though, they had matches and they did win, but a lot of it came with antics and just, the foolishness of DX getting over.
Nah, absolutely. And like you said, bro, hey, perfect for the time, a little overrated, but hey, still fun to watch nonetheless. And if you don't agree, then we got 2 words for you.
Suck it.
Yeah. All right, man. Now let's get to the main event. Bro, this guy right here, he is definitely a legend. First ballot Hall of Famer. And I've said this story a time or two before, but for those who haven't heard it, I reiterate it. There was a specific point in time in my childhood where I specifically stopped watching the Monday Night Raw brand because I was scared shitless of this man's pyro and his entrance. When I will play my wrestling video games, I will never pick a match with Kane in it as either myself or the opponent because I was scared that much of Kane. I didn't even want to watch this man on a video game version of himself.
Right.
This guy, along with the Undertaker, definitely defied what it meant to have your belief suspended. I should have known better that this man wasn't burned alive and came back and was the brother of a dead Undertaker. But I believed it because you know what, man? You didn't have the internet the way you do now. Dude, now, with that being said, you, my guy, you seen Kane come in from the very beginning, and so did I. But you have a better recollection than I do because I believe at the time I might have been 5 or 6. What were your thoughts, man, when you seen the Big Red Machine come out for the first time?
Like, dude, Undertaker about to die. like, man, who the hell is this big dude coming down here and rip the cage off the door? The door off he ripped the cage off the door. Wow, man, that's how scary he had. That's how messed up he had me. But no, he ripped the door off the cage and dude just came in, and when he raised his arms up and threw him down, and the fire first appeared from the goalpost. Like, bro, I had never really seen nothing like that. So, and it was already dark. The red light was going, and then he's in the cage. He's standing eye to eye with the Undertaker. Like, it wasn't too many people that was standing eye to eye with the Undertaker. So it's like, bro, damn, this really his brother. This really is his brother, man. He getting burnt up. He's been waiting to get back to his baby. Like, Paul, Paul Bear, you a rotten son of a bitch. Like, dude, you dirty out here, man. But he made his mark, doing that, and and of course, brother had to get back because he cost Undertaker a title match against Shawn Michaels because that was the famous first ever Hell in a Cell. Well, no, that was the first one because Mick Foley and them did the one after that. But that was the first Hell in a Cell. So he had lost it because his brother showed up to choke slam him and power drive him back to hell and to put him through the hell that he's been through as a child, storyline wise. But then when you moved on from that, Kane was kind of he was kind of lost in the shuffle. It was like he was a big guy, he was the monster, he just kind of just beat people up, but he was really just, they would do some stuff with him, and then he'd just kind of do some random stuff with somebody else, and then they'll have a storyline for him, and then they'll have nothing for him. Then they have something for him, then they don't have nothing for him. Then he'll do something, then he won't do nothing. And I think this dude, like Edge, has like won 12 different tag team titles with like 11 different people. Like it's it's like he's won with a lot of people, but he's had some hell of storylines. He's had some great matches. I think Kane as a big man, Kane actually did a lot of stuff off the top rope. Kane would jump off the top, top turnbuckle a lot. Like he was a big guy that flew, man. So it's not that, he was the most, loose guy, but Kane can hold his own against anybody in the ring. Like Kane knew how to work, man. That man was definitely, I think at times underappreciated. Definitely, I won't say he underachieved, because he achieved everything. He's won every title damn near. I think he's had the grandest. He's had moments and matches. The dude's a Hall of Famer. Like Kane, shit, man. His impact through wrestling, no matter the metamorphosis he's had, taking the mask off, burning JR, like dude, setting battery cable to Shane McMahon's nuts. Like this dude Kane has done some shit. This man has power drive women. This dude had sex with oh no, that was Triple H. That was Katie Kane, ladies and gentlemen. But Kane, man, he's won championships. He's fought the best of the best. He's beaten the best of the best. The man has won damn near everything, I think, except for a Royal Rumble. He's won the Money in the Bank. I don't know what really more to say about Kane other than the man could go with anybody. Like the dude was Kane might be one of my 3 superstars that I can honestly say was overshadowed. Yeah, because he was the brother of the Undertaker, but he also came. Oh yeah, I feel you on that too, Earl. You might want to highlight that one. But yeah, it definitely man, Kane was Kane, man. He was Kaning. Shit, man. Man, my boy Kane, man. He stayed relevant, and quite honestly, up until he decided he wanted to go be a mayor for Knox County, man, Kane could still go. He wasn't like the Undertaker and everybody else. He was still able to move. He was still able to, he can do some stuff, especially when he was corporate Kane. He wrestled a lot. Shit. And seeing Kane coming out wrestling in the suit, it's like, dude, this is crazy, man. Like this dude has evolved in so many ways.
Out here looking like a member of Right to Censor.
Right, but that's what keeps you relevant. And regardless if it was the greatest thing or not, he stayed relevant, man. Kane was definitely, to me, he's right where he's at. I do think he was overshadowed because of Undertaker, but he's had a Hall of Fame career and definitely maybe underappreciated because he wasn't underrated. He wasn't underrated at all. But I would definitely say he's underappreciated, man, as a wrestler.
Yeah, so there's two sides to my point. I'm gonna do it before and after. So when Kane first came in, I felt like he was very valued. I feel like he was very appreciated. I feel like he was perfect because at that time you needed an arch nemesis for the Undertaker, because the Undertaker was something so unlike anything you've ever seen in WWE, period, let alone that era. You needed somebody that was realistic, that could not only team with the Undertaker and look just as imposing or menacing as the Undertaker, but when it was time for somebody to go against the Undertaker, you needed somebody who seemed like a legitimate threat. See, the Undertaker was this undead mortician, zombie-like phantom, and who on a roster legitimately you look at him like, yo, he can go one-on-one with the Undertaker.
His
But
little
then,
brother from hell.
exactly. Then you see this guy who's just as big, who's just as jacked, coming out, you say, black and red color scheme, fire, ripping off the cage, bro. Like, look at Kane everything about it was just so demonic and so evil. I would dare say Kane was scarier than the Undertaker at one point in time.
I mean, of course, man, because Kane would just randomly show up. Undertaker didn't just randomly show up a lot. Kane just randomly show up and just get the whooping the fuck out of people. Just get the beating people or setting somebody on fire or choke slamming somebody or power driving somebody. Like Kane would just randomly just mess with people. And Kane did more sick, sadistic stuff than Undertaker did. Because you gotta remember, man, when Kane took that mask off, man, Kane was on something for at least like 4 or 5 years, man. He really went through something, man. And he was like one of the most scary people. But guess what? He was also one of the most dominant champions. He was winning the World Heavyweight Champion. He was beating people or fighting or burying his brother. Like this dude was doing some ruthless and scandalous stuff. So you can't forget about that, man. Like Kane has definitely had his moments, man, where he is transcended and did different things. And some of it was like, man, Kane could be doing something better than this. Some things it was like, damn, boy, look at what they doing with Kane, man. Yeah, they just put the title on this boy.
And that's where I say it's kind of like two sides of the same coin with me, because Kane, he was one of those guys who he was super over, and at one point, man, there's nobody in the world that can touch Kane. And then it got to a point to where, like you say, what the hell is he doing? Like, I feel like they started giving him the Big Show treatment almost.
He did get that. He got that. He just didn't get it as bad as the Big Show.
Yeah, and it's like, this guy that was once a demon, and now he's corporate Kane, and now he's taking pins and losses ad nauseum, right? It's like it became a regular thing. And then Kane started to kind of look like more like a joke. And then they tried to bring the mask back in, I think, 2012 or 2013. But at that point, we just seen Kane so long without it, and he didn't got older. It's just like, when they brought the mask back and they didn't book him like he was booked when he had it the first time, it just didn't work. But like you say, he laid
it worked to a degree. But because I'm not gonna lie, him and the Hurricane, like that, like I like them as a tag team.
I like him and Rob Van Dam before he.
I liked him and Rob Van Dam, and I liked him and Brian Daniel. Like Brian Daniel, like
hell no, yeah. Okay, I forgot about
hell no. That it wasn't like that wasn't supposed to be what it was, but it ended up being what it was because it's like Kane, like of all people going through therapy, you know what? He needs it. It's like if anybody needs to sit down with Dr. Shelby, it is Kane. This crazy mother. It is hell yes, Kane. Put Kane in here, but it worked more than what it should have, and it shouldn't have been that good. So there's been a lot of times where it's like, bro, just him being the vet that he is, doing the things the way he is. It's like that is what separated him from a lot of the other big men. And because, like I say, like Earl said, man, he can, he was a better all around guy, wrestler, worker in the ring. Earl says, I honestly wanted the storyline to end with Kane taking Undertaker out at Mania instead of Brock. No, Kane is beating Undertaker. It just won't be at WrestleMania.
Right.
But they never, Kane already lost twice. So I get what you're saying, but honestly, it made more sense for Brock because of where Brock was at, man. Brock wasn't a WWE superstar. He was an MMA fighter. He's a legit beast. And if there was anybody that was going to break through the facade of the Undertaker, it's Brock Lesnar. Like, even no matter how much it was still shocking, no matter how much I didn't want to see that happen, I understood it. Like, I understood it. Like, if there's going to be somebody that's beyond that, then yeah, Younger Brothers Ultimate Revenge. I mean, it could, but he's gotten his revenge on Undertaker. And they got to a point where it's like, they didn't fought each other, they didn't beat each other. And it is what it is. But yeah. Yeah, man, really, that's about it.
No, absolutely. And man, look, so that's our 4 as far as this week's over under. our season finale.
Season finale.
So you know, so we got that out the way. Dude, I feel like the last 3 weeks, I feel like we've been coming with some hitters. I mean, come on, man. New Age Outlaw, Jazz, Kane, Don Callis.
I mean, just trying to mix it up and talk about a little bit about everybody, man. Regardless of how big, of a superstar somebody was or how small or whatever. We're gonna throw some names up here. We're gonna throw some names up here, and y'all gonna be like, man, that's why I'm like this. I want to do this the season finale because I really want to take the time and effort to really search names. Like I want to go back and make sure we don't repeat nobody. And then if we do decide to repeat people, try to get a different viewpoint of what, maybe see if we were wrong about some of the things we said. But we'll work on that. But again, man, we need a little bit of time to work this out, man. But we want to definitely end this one, the end of 2023. Get this down and get this out, and then man, we about to hit y'all with some predictions because the game coming on soon, and your boys got to cheer for them brownies. So what we about to do is we about to take a minute, not too long, because we got to get these predictions in because the game coming on soon. And we got to get these predictions in for World's End for Saturday, man. So if y'all ready, we're going to be ready. Give us a couple of minutes. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir. And with that being said, we'll see y'all in a second. Stay tuned.